Biden was struggling with the Latino Hispanic voters, but Trump resonates.
That's true. And I think one of the things that Biden did, or that the Biden campaign did wrong, is actually not court Latinos since the beginning. Republicans were very active in South Florida, in Florida in general, because they know the importance of that vote. They knew that they needed to get that vote, those extra 10 points that President Trump did get. You know, I think one thing that this whole election teaches us is that the Latino vote is growing. It's not a joke. It's not an exaggeration. 1 million more Latinos turn 18 every year.
It's not monolithic.
And that's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And they can't be ignored anymore. The parties have to pay attention to them.
All you got to do is look at Texas, where 1 in 3 voters is now a Latino. And I think that raised hopes for the Biden camp that Texas might be in play. They're advancing the Democrats in Texas, but they still haven't taken it yet.
Right. And the diversity within the Latino community is not only where they live. It's not just geographic and their background. It's the issues that they care about. I mean, we were just talking about the religion, how important religion is. And to those who are pro-life, they have tunnel vision. There's no other issue that's important to those that support pro-life. They don't care about the rhetoric. They don't care about maybe even the economy. All they care about is that it's pro-life. So there's just so much diversity there within the Latino community.
And economics makes a difference too?
Economics does make a difference. I think it resonates more maybe with a South Florida type of voter than with the rest.
How come?
Because, you know, one thing that you have to understand is that Latinos, they have been doing well financially up to a certain point. I mean, when you think of small businesses, Latino-owned small businesses are growing at a much faster pace than you know, the general public or the general audience or whatever you want to call it here in the U.S. So they have been doing well. In education, we have more and more Latinos going to college and graduating from college, starting their own businesses. So it's not that they're suffering in that way.
So you're saying if they're wealthier and educated, they're more attracted to Donald Trump? Is that what
it depends what part of the country. That's what's so complex about the Latino vote.
Let's zero in that. I mean, Latinos helped deliver Florida to Donald Trump because of Dade County, Cubans, Venezuelans. And then in Arizona, it appears at current juncture that Arizona will go to Biden in part because of strong support from the Latino community.
Exactly, with very different issues.
So yeah, talk about that difference there.
You know, it's interesting. When we had the deciders, I had a voter from Arizona and a voter from Florida, and it's exactly what happened. The woman from Arizona talked about how that anti-immigrant rhetoric resonated with her so much. Now, Arizona, you have to remember, that has been slowly turning blue for the last 10 years, ever since there was a law, SB 1070, a very strong anti-immigrant law that then was challenged by the courts, that really began to galvanize and motivate Latinos to register to vote and to go out and vote. And the result is that now they turned it blue for the first time since 1996.
The takeaway for me in this conversation is that this may be the last election cycle where we talk about the Latino vote instead of particular communities
within it.
Cubans and Puerto Ricans and on and on.
Right. They're part of America. I mean, we're Americans too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They want to be considered, you know, from their region, not only as a voting bloc. And, you know, always, I know I worked in Spanish language media for years, and for decades, I should say, and we always talked about how Latinos are going to decide who goes to the White House. You know, up to a certain point, state by state, they are deciding that. But it's not always where we think that it's
Well,
going.
right now, they're the largest ethnic voting majority. Right now, Latinos are.
It's only going to grow.
And growing.
By 1 million a year, and that's not even counting the naturalized citizens that could. There's millions that qualify to become naturalized citizens.
María Elena Salinas, thank you so much for being with us.